We gotta shoot a video. Movie star. Hi, welcome back to One Man, One Dog Theater. This is video number 2 in the Seeing God series. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for sticking around. And this is the 3rd time I saw God. Now, if you remember from the other 2 videos, the first time I saw him was in that Van and Eagle Boys, and that was just me realizing that I had been put there because of God's work in the background that had brought me to that situation. That was it. Then the second time I saw God, the first time I had an intervention testimonial, something physical happening, was that phone call that got me kicked out of my first foster home. I realized that might have sounded a little disappointing when I'm talking about seeing God, and you thought that was just a bad coincidence, but I hope we can all agree that at the very least that phone call was life-changing, and I definitely saw God in it. Okay, that was a physical thing, something happening where the phone rang. The second time something physical happened when I saw God is when I came across this bird. Now let me tell you what led up to that. Okay, this was at my second foster home. Well, leaving my second foster home. Remember, I got kicked out of that first one. Well, then I got sent to this other foster home with the Crab family. And anyone in the foster care system can tell you there is a wide range of different foster homes from bad to good. Well, this one I was in was a great foster home. I mean, they were a couple, husband and wife, had a daughter and a son, daughter older than me, son younger than me. They owned their own business. They had a cabin a couple hours north on the lake, and life was good. Life was really good, especially considering where I started at. Well, when I first went to live with them, we'd go up to the cabin on the weekends, and there was a little bit of drinking involved. I mean, both of my foster parents were drinkers, but God bless them, they were only drinkers on the weekends. I never saw them drink during the week, or hardly ever anyway. Well, when we started going up to the cabin, there'd be a little bit of drinking, my 10th grade of high school. Never the parents with the kids. It wasn't anything like that. But the parents would go out drinking, and so would the kids. Well, by my senior year, we went up there and just got blotto. Parents, kids, everyone, all the time. Not together, I said, but that's what we did. Well, I graduated high school in June 1985. At the end of that month of June, we went up to the cabin on a Thursday for a 4-day weekend, which to me was just a 4-day drinking binge. But on day 3, on Saturday, we went tubing down the river. I got really drunk, and I'm normally a happy-go-lucky drunk, but this drunk I turned mean and nasty. I think it was over a girl, but I was pretty drunk, so it's kind of hard to remember. But anyhow, at the end of the trip, I told Doc, I'm sick of this shit, whatever this shit was. I'm going out to Arizona to live with my biological brother Matt. Drive me home. So Doc drives me home, and I rant and rave the whole way back about how I'm sick of this crap and I'm going out to Arizona. Instead of going off to college, I was accepted to Northern Michigan University, and that's where I was going to go in the fall. Now, I was a foster kid, which meant I had pretty much every grant in the state available to me, and with a set of rich foster parents helping me along, I had the all-American life waiting for me. Well, when we get in the driveway, Doc says the words that will seal my fate. He said, "Blizzard, you're just being a drunken idiot." Idiot might not have been the exact word, but he said, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to realize I'm right. Call me up and apologize. I slammed that door, went inside, slammed the door, went to my bedroom, slammed the door, went to bed, and passed out. The next morning, I wake up, my head is aching, I feel like shit. I thought about that scene I put on the day before, and I realized, wow, Doc was right. I was being a drama queen a-hole. I did owe him an apology. I was wrong. My life was good. Unless my mind corrected me. Unless you go to Arizona. Then you're not wrong, are you? And you're a man, right? I mean, You're 18 years old, you graduated high school, you're a man now. So what's a man going to do? Well, I packed a knapsack, wrote my foster parents a goodbye note, put it on their bed, went out to the dog pen and said goodbye to my dog Blanca. I let her out of the pen, hugged her and kissed her. I told her I'd send for her as soon as I could. And I'll tell you, had I known that would be the last time I ever saw that dog, I wouldn't have left. But I put her in the pen, got on my bicycle, and rode off. Now, about 5 miles down the road, I see this bird land on a telephone wire. Now, at the time, I had spent half my life in the city and half my life in the country. And I can tell you there's a big difference between city birds and country birds. A city bird, you can walk right underneath it while it's on the wire, in a tree, whatever, it doesn't care. A country bird won't let you get close. So as that bird landed on that telephone wire, I wondered, how close will that bird let me get before it flies off? I noticed the wires, and they were kind of high wires for out there in the country. But I thought, that bird will not let me get within a telephone pole's length before it flies off. Surprisingly, that bird let me get right in line with it, just like in the picture there, before taking off. But instead of flying away, that bird got off the telephone wire and flew straight down over my head. This bird flew about 3-4 feet above my head and just stayed right there. So I swerved over to the right-hand side of the road. Empty road, traffic's not an issue. The bird stayed right with me. I went back. The bird stayed right with me. I can't tell you how many times I did that, 3 to 5, somewhere in that range, and that bird stayed with me like an attack helicopter. I finally decided this bird is more than annoying or weird. He's going to poop on me. So I start pedaling as fast as my 18-year-old legs would go. I'm going down the road. I look back to see if that bird's back there, but he wasn't. He was still right above my head. I said, oh, damn, no. I hit both brakes, right? 10-speed bicycle, slammed them on, back tire came off the ground. I stopped so quick. And, I dropped my head down, and I remember thinking, I wonder if birds can they turn their heads and look back? If I look up at this bird, is he going to be looking back at me? Well, as soon as I got my head up, I looked. That bird wasn't out in front of me. That bird was still right above me, backpedaling his wings like this to stop. I said, boy, as soon as I get off this bike, I'm going to jump up and smack that damn bird. Right? So I get stopped, I get off the bike, and this bird drops a big old white poop right here on my shoulder of that green shirt that I was so darn proud of, and flies away. I'm left standing there on the side of the road with my bicycle, my backpack, a couple $100 on me, watching that bird fly off, looking at this poop on my shoulder, and I instantly saw God in that. I said, really, God? You too? You and Doc? Well, both of you, I'm out of here. And I kept on riding. Went out to Arizona, and the adventure goes on from there. But since that time, I've come up with 4 different reasons why God did that. Because God knows everything, right? And if you believe in a divine superpower, you have to believe that a divine entity that created everything knows everything. Okay, so since God knows everything, God knew I was going to keep riding, right? So why waste his time? Why waste my time? Why waste the bird's time? Okay, 4 reasons I've come up with since then. Number 1, and that's the most obvious one, is God was telling me to turn around. He was telling me, Blizz, you're going down the wrong road. Turn around. Okay, the second reason I believe God sent that bird was to tell me, hey, even though you're going down the wrong road, I'm going with you. Okay, the third reason I think God sent that bird was, and I truly believe this, I believe everything I'm telling you, but I truly believe this, God knew I would see him in that bird. Just like I saw him in that life-changing phone call back at the other foster home. And as I will explain in video 4, I believe God just gets the absolute biggest kick out of being seen. And that's why he did that. He knew I would see him. And the 4th reason he sent that bird even though I was going to keep writing, is because he knew I would tell you about it one day. He knew I would make this video. He knew I would write my book. He knew you would watch the video, possibly read the book. And God wanted me to tell you about it. So that's what happened. Stick around for video 3 and 4. Thanks for joining us. Thanks and God bless you. Bye.